Welcome to Light Logic, the podcast that discusses everything you need to know about low voltage lighting. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. You're listening to Light Logic.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in today for this episode of the Light Logic podcast. I'm Brian Qualls. Today, I had an absolute pleasure of sitting with Judy Gausman, the CEO of the Arizona Landscape Contractor Association, otherwise ALCA, here in Arizona. I've known Judy a long time. Her and I are friends, and we go back, I gotta say, almost 15 years. And we talked about the importance of being part of a local organization such as Arizona Landscape Contractor Association, and kind of what they provide and what that does for you and your company. It was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. And Judy announced her retirement, so we wish her good luck in that endeavor. But take a listen. Hope you enjoy. Okay, well, we'll get started. Hi, Judy. How are you today?
Wonderful. Thanks, Brian.
So first off, we'll go ahead and just do me a favor and introduce yourself. I can do it, but I think you do a much better job than I would. So introduce yourself to the people listening and people watching on YouTube.
Okay, my name is Judy Gausman. I am the CEO of the Arizona Landscape Contractors Association. I've been with the association for 20 years in January. And no surprise, but I have given my retirement notice. It's one of the advantages of being old is you get to retire. So I will be I'll be working until the end of January, which will be my 21st anniversary.
Wow, and that explains the closet where you're broadcasting from there, right down to the sprinklers and garden hoses, and very hands-on organization.
It's very appropriate, yes. So we have hired an executive director, Darcy Altizer, and so she'll be shadowing me for the rest of the year. And she is in this great, big, beautiful office with the conference room. And I am in the closet, which I feel very comfortable. I mean, I feel right at home.
That's awesome. Well, we're hoping to have Darcy on a future podcast for sure. But as I'm sure a lot of people know, you and I are friends, so I was excited that you said yes and you joined us today. Primarily, and I didn't give you much, and I do that on purpose. I didn't give you much background on kind of what we do and why we do it, but majority of our listeners tend to be contractors. And so I kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit more about the organization, and then we'll wrap up at the end here, kind of what your plans are in retirement. But ideally, just kind of what does the Arizona Landscape Contractor Association do beyond just the the mixers and the golf tournaments and all that kind of fun stuff? So what is the purpose of the organization?
Well, we look after their interest in the legislature. So all those rules and regulations that affect contractors, landscape contractors in particular, we try to keep them up to date on what's going on and what's going to affect them. And then we also hire 2 different lobbyists to look after their interest and be proactive. So when we see things coming up, or we want to change, or just something that's going to affect them, we want to keep them up to date. And that's one of the goals and missions of ALCA. The other one is to provide education and training. And so we have 3 different certifications, and the workshops are for it, just anybody who wants to just gain information and education. So you don't have to become certified in the programs, but it is recognized. It's recognized with other landscape contractors. It's recognized in the municipalities, with HOAs, with board members. So it does have a lot of clout.
Yes, and I just kind of wanted to throw out there as well, that we're talking about the Arizona Landscape Contractors Association, but you have relationships with other states, other organizations, and I don't imagine that it differs from much from organization to organization. I mean, sure, it's going to be geared towards the rules and regulations for that state, but kind of what ALCA does isn't much different than, say, the California, version of the same organization. Is that kind of your sense, or?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And, we belong to the National Association of Landscape Professionals. So we're able to meet with other state executive directors, and which is very helpful for everyone concerned.
Yeah, and I can attest. I've been part of the Arizona Landscape Contractor Association even before I came to work for Unique Lighting. I was starting off when I was a landscape architect, and there's a lot of value. I mean, I can really attest to the training programs that go through it, and I've had several opportunities to actually host some classes through the organization. So I think that's kind of from my perspective that I really see the benefit of being part of that. What about as far as information on like insurance or just helping run a business? I mean, are there resources like that available as well through Alka?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. One of our members is Julie Pace, and she is an employment attorney. And so every year we do an update on wage laws and all those, you know, acronyms that affect contractors. So, yeah, so absolutely, that's imperative. That's always draws a big crowd. And we do it on a lot on succession planning, or, the key person. And of course, insurance. We have we have a bunch of insurance companies that really cater to landscape companies specifically. So we have a great resource to share with our members for that.
Right. So from your perspective, and I know what my answer is, but from your perspective, I mean, how important is it for even a brand new contractor, a young contractor, to be part of an organization like this, no matter where they are in the country?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, just the contacts that you can make. And, it's such a cohesive group, and they share, and they're always willing to help, anyone. And some of the biggest competitors are the best of friends. And
Yeah.
so there's a lot of resources for somebody just getting started or getting their license. There's a lot of resources to help you get your license. And so, not, and if you're just starting, you need the education, we're there for you, and the members are there for them as well.
And I have to say, from my point of view, again, as a vendor, when I made that leap, right? I made that leap from design over to essentially working with contractors. I think that helped shortcut my ability to meet many contractors just by being involved, and I kind of liken, being involved with an organization like Alka to going to the gym. I can have a gym membership and pay my gym membership every month, but if I never go, I'm not going to see any results. And if you join, a local organization like Alka and you go to the mixers or you go to the one or two things a year, you're just not going to see the results. I mean, I've made some friends and kind of made some business deals just by being involved, and and luckily you guys have asked me to be more and more involved with than just sponsoring events. So it's been a great experience for me for sure. So I'm sad to see you go. I'm sure you're hearing that a lot of that. So. Um, Now 20 years, it's a long time.
Mhm.
What has changed? What are like the biggest changes you can say that just in the industry or with the organization or anything in the last 20 years?
Yeah, well, first of all, we were like, this little office, um, in not a great section of town, and we had to keep our office doors locked. So I think not just in the industry, but we've moved our office. We've bought our own building, our own office condo, so we own that. But it makes us, the goal is to make contractors just to enhance the professionalism. So, it not just, it's sometimes it's about appearances, but the educational programs, by far, we used to have one a month. so we had 10 workshops a year. And just as the membership grew, we had 89 members then when I first started, and now we have well over 400. So
Wow.
just you know, the educational programs, I would say that's the biggest, because now we offer almost 100 a year. And I'm really excited about this too, because this, Zoom thing, all our workshops are offered on Zoom. So we're getting a whole new clientele to watch our workshops, our classes, and we are recording them. And I'm very happy to announce that we're having them translated now into Spanish.
Oh, that's
So
fantastic.
yeah, one by one, we're getting all of them translated. So they don't have to come here to the office. They can go to their training rooms and in their companies. They can watch it together. They can watch it, after hours or on the weekend or whatever. They're not having to drive here to our office or to drive to Tucson. So I'm pretty excited about that as well.
Yeah, that gives a whole new level of reach. I mean, that's what I learned. I mean, during the pandemic, we did a ton just at Unique Lighting. We did a ton of online classes, and the amount of people we reached without me having to leave this seat was was pretty astounding. So that's great that you guys are getting to use that type of system. So I will say, you are I want to say you're the first female we've had on the podcast. It's been, again, this is a male dominated field, so
Yep.
I'm glad that we have you there. But how is that, kind of speaking to the women that are out there that are in the landscape, business? What kind of advice do you have, or what's your, you got a wealth of experience. What do you have to speak to being in a field like this?
Oh gosh, that's a tough question. Some of my best friends are now in the industry, of course. They're business owners, and they're some of the strongest women, and they're following their passion. So, you know, working with men, working with women, it's been just phenomenal. So, and once again, just as great resource for each other.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, 20 years growing this from, what'd you say, 80 members to over 400. So, kind of just as we're getting close to wrapping up here, what do you say, or what resources do you have out there for a new contractor that is just like, well, yeah, now this is another payment just to be part of another organization, and how do you overcome that as someone is brand new and again, seems like another person in their mind has got a handout to them,
Yeah.
as far as membership.
Well, as far as being a resource source for them, I mean, I get questions about, you can't even imagine, all over. Somebody wants to know this or that, or if do you know a project manager? And then the next, or I need a mechanic. The next thing you know is like, I have a mechanic calling me and wanting to know if there's a job. So, but not of that, but we once a month we hand out landscaping tips and safety tips so they can meet the OSHA requirements, and landscaping tips that they can put their logo on and they can send out to their clients, that like it's coming from them, that like the more information we get out there, the better. We publish a magazine and that goes out to the licensed CR21 licensed landscape contractors. We want to introduce new members and have new members submit articles and editorials so that they can share that with others. So that's just, part of it, I
Yeah.
hope, for them.
Yeah, and I'm always pushing for it. I think it's great. Like I said, I always use that gym analogy, and I just wherever you are out there, whatever state you're in, look into your organization if you're not part of it, because I think there's a lot more to it than just the weekly mixers and the awards banquets and that sort of thing. So, well, kind of wrap things up. What are the plans for retirement, Judy? You're less than a year away, and I know
Yeah.
you've been planning for it. So what's the big plans if you're willing to share?
Absolutely. I've been so blessed and to work in a job first and foremost that I love. And I'm on Monday morning, I'm ready to get up and go to work. And after 20 years and almost 300 mixers, It's time to look, into a new chapter. And my husband and I have bought a cabin in the mountains in California, close to our grandson. So it is a true fixer-upper. And, I grew up in Indiana, and I grew up in the country. I had a lake in front of me and one behind me. And, my brothers were trappers, and, we hunted and fished. So I'm going to be getting back to my roots, and I'm really looking forward to getting back to the country.
That's fantastic.
But I'm still staying here. I mean, we'll be snowbirds. I still have my place here. And
Well, there's something
close to
about
my
the state.
friends.
I'm telling you, there's something about Arizona. I'm the same way. I grew up in California, but man, this is home to me. So that I get that as well. So, well, Judy, I really appreciate your time. This has been a blast. I can't believe it's already we probably ran over our 20 minutes, but again, thank you so much. And I look forward to the remaining months here, and I wish you and Tim good luck in retirement. So thanks again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to Light Logic. We want to hear from you. Would you like to be featured on Light Logic? Email us at info@uniquelighting.com.